Hey, welcome to Vaping Juice TV. This is the Kanthal Show, episode number, I've no idea. I'm here with Frederick. How are you? Frederick, how are you doing, Frederick?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm perfect. Did you watch the Boxio?
I watched a very poor quality stream on the Sunday.
What'd you make of it?
Yeah, it's a bit crooked.
Yeah, I
What
think
do you think?
it's a good fight, really good fight. It's nice to see a heavyweight fight be interesting, but I think it's very hard for anyone if you've been knocked down twice to. I think a draw is fair if you've been knocked down twice.
I don't know either because
I know
they
boxing's
shouldn't
boxing.
score it that way.
I know, and the thing is, if you're a judge at that level, you know that Tyson Fury is a boxer and Wilder is a puncher.
Yeah.
And if Wilder's job is he's a knockout artist, and Fury's job is to box, keep at range, box and move, and stay the distance and win on points, then Fury did what he was set out to do. Wilder didn't do what he set out to do, although he still knocked the guy down top. The guy's been knocked down before. And I know Wilder's now posted on a video going, proof that it took more than 10 seconds for Fury to get up. Well, if he took the same philosophy for the Ortiz fight, when he got knocked down, he would also he wouldn't have been in that fight, it would have been Ortiz versus Fury, so it's nonsense. No one ever counts from the very 1, 2, 3, doesn't count. You've got to actually work out it's definitely a valid knockdown first. So, good to see a rematch. AJ must be regretting really that he didn't get into that fight, really.
Yeah.
Not to have a three-way, I mean that'd be a disgusting three-way.
They should do that. Have you seen some of the... No.
Don't think they'll pack out at Wembley Arena with that.
But
maybe they will.
Have you seen those like MMA fights where you have like 5v5?
They're the Russian guys, aren't they?
Yeah.
Team fighting.
Yeah, they do weird stuff.
And then you end up sometimes having like one guy left against five getting
and he just
absolute
gets
head stamps.
railed.
Great.
Yeah,
good.
it's good. I reckon we should do that. Like a
handicap match, like the old WWF. Like tag each other in. Or maybe chuck another one in and have a tag team boxing match.
That would be interesting.
Imagine that, just to get a few hits, go out there and just touch gloves, someone else comes in.
Did you see the medieval thing the Russians were doing as well?
No.
They just like suited them up in like chainmail armour and stuff and gave them like blunted swords and axes and stuff.
Fantastic.
And just let them have at it. It was amazing.
Any blood?
Yeah, loads.
Amazing.
Loads.
Right, well, this is
good fun.
This is the Colin Kanthal Show. We talk about vaping in the news and just general shit.
Some of them might have vaped.
Yeah,
Russians.
There are people who run vape businesses right now who are enjoying listening to our Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder three-way discussion.
I hope so.
Yeah, fine. This is going out on podcast as well, so you can listen to us on iTunes and other formats of podcast. Details will be tagged in the video. So if you're someone like me who hasn't really got time to watch YouTube videos, you like to listen to podcasts on the go, we're on the podcast platforms. Yes. So you can listen to us without seeing us, which means you can't see these great new e-liquids that I've put together a vaping juice. Bunch of lines of it's going to stick out in wholesale. It's called Cafe Society. Now this is a absolute balls up on my part. They're going to be 100ml, and then I got the boxes through, and I'm just going to move my vape and my tea. I was like, brilliant! This looks fantastic. Let's take out the bottle here. I thought, okay, great. Yep, 100ml.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, let's get a sticker for the front, and then we realised 100ml. So. A lot of stickering, so I think I'm going to do the stickering because then I'll learn the lesson to actually measure the boxes properly next time. But Cafe Society, it's going to be out pretty soon, and they are cafe flavoured liquids. There's not
Throwing it out there.
Go on.
As an alternative to stickering.
Yep.
Why don't we get 50ml bottles, put them in there, and sellotape 2 boxes together, and sell them like that.
Gaffer tape them together.
Gaffer tape.
Nice.
Clear tape, because then you might as well just label them.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Either way, it's going to be a bastardisation of my original design, but the liquids will be good.
Yeah.
I assure you of that.
Very nice.
We also got, for those that perhaps follow us, we've been pushing a line called the Kraken. It's our own line. We get asked by a lot of people, do we stock Zeus Juice? And Zeus Juice wouldn't stock us because they stocked a competitor. It's a bit unfair, really. So if you like the black Zeus Juice, which one is it? Is it?
Yeah, the black.
It's the black Zeus Juice.
Yeah.
Then try our one.
Checkmate.
Checkmate.
Also, if you like our Red Rocket and you want a big bottle of that, now you can grab it in Shortfield as well.
We do this at 20 quid, so if you're used to spending 15 quid for 50ml of the Zeus Juice, the black, you can try our one and you make a saving. Or if you sell it in your shops and you want something a bit different with interesting margins, give us a shout, vapingjuicewholesale.com. Less plugging, more news. What's going on in the world of news?
So, a few bits of news.
News, me.
So we've got there was a Sunday Times article. I don't know if you saw it. It was saying about vaping products that are being sold on Amazon. And it's basically they're just having a pop at the short film market because there's no TPD regs. they're saying that people are just running amok. It's a complete.
I saw this
market.
recently. Was it famous brands, or was it ones we're familiar with, or
Yeah, it's ones that we're familiar with. Things like Fantasy, they were getting dug out as well.
or saying that was kids will want them suddenly?
Yeah, saying there's like it's like IP infringement and it's marketed to kids.
That's interesting. The IP infringement was that mentioned in the Sunday Times article? Because this is the problem. We mentioned it a few times, haven't we? I know IVG have had problems with it. You've seen stuff like Pokemon juices or Poke juices and stuff. It's terrible. And there was a load of it just as soon as TPD went, before TPD, and you saw trading standards pull up a few people, didn't they? That was a real worry for us. We were really keeping. I mean, there was the ice cream coneries or something, or
ice cream cones. Yeah, that was one that actually did get pulled from some of these shops. Was it up north somewhere?
Yeah, it was Stafford or Grantham or Manchester or somewhere
that way.
I know trading standard. They posted about it, and a lot of vapers were worried. But hang on, we bought this stuff. What's going to happen to us? We're going to lose lots of money. So we took a decision to go, look, let's just get rid of it. And we started asking people, do you own the IP of what you're producing? Say that, we got our own. They don't own the white, the black. But there are some real flagrant stuff. For me, it grates me a little bit because I know how much effort we spent in creating our own brand. And if you're any business that's gone out there and you've paid money for designers, you spent time planning on it, you've had your heart and soul in it, you've got your friends and family on it, involved in it. Everyone's time is invested in it. It's not just a financial amount of money, it's time. Time's of value too. And to see someone come along and just nick that is the real interesting one actually is still the Vampire Vapes Heisenberg one over who owns the term Heisenberg.
Yeah.
Because obviously they didn't come up with the term Heisenberg.
No.
And granted they've registered it for e-liquids. That's more opportunist, I think. I mean, you certainly give it. They created the first Heisenberg e-liquid.
Yeah,
that's definitely their shout.
Theirs.
In blue, clever what they've done. They made a twist on something that everyone understands. So yeah, props to that. It's a funny one when they're trying to defend it in court though, because it's like, well, where did you really get the idea from?
Have you seen them being upset that people have done that? Because I haven't seen anything.
A couple of mentions of it again recently on things like LinkedIn. I've seen. I do also. So this is do the Cotton and Kanthal show because it's more because those people who are involved in the industry. It's good for news. LinkedIn's, I've started using LinkedIn a lot lately. It's a really good B2B platform. So if you're in the business of vaping industry, CBD, for some reason that's associated with vaping. We are too. So, but LinkedIn's really good B2B. You can advertise there, which is something we've discovered this week, which you can't do on Facebook, as everyone knows. Vaping is as bad as ISIS and Al Qaeda to Facebook. But LinkedIn are cool with it. So that's good. So check that out, LinkedIn. It's a free tip. But yeah, I have seen Heisenberg get mentioned again. And I can't remember the article. You're the guy with the newses. Yeah. I just come up with things that I think I've heard.
I haven't seen it.
So was there much heat on that article?
Just the usual, really. Just people. I imagine it will be something that's
we pulled up Argos, didn't we? And so we got trading standards involved with Argos because Argos was selling the TFE Prince tank, the 6mm one, or the 8mm one, or the massive one.
Yeah, they were selling it, and they were the product listing on Argos was saying that it's the 5mm tank.
The 5mm tank. So you've got a company that have got tons of stock. I mean, I actually make an effort to try and shop at Argos sometimes because they are a local shop. They've got a cracking website, which I think is actually a really good user experience. Randomly, I think it's quite cool, and I want to see shops on the high street, so I do support them, and I'll spend a bit more maybe to go there. And they do same day delivery, which is cool. So do we. The fact they do that, and it's like, well, there are businesses whose core business is vaping, and if you're anything like us, where your core business is vaping, if the vaping industry went, you've lost it. That's your livelihood. Argos couldn't give a crap. They can trash it into the ground. Any of these companies, Amazon can, eBay can, they can trash it into the ground because they've got millions of other products they sell. And so when you've got vape shops who've got built-in knowledge they've acquired over years of working in this industry, training people, researching it, going to forums, going to conferences, reading up about it, and you've got someone at Argos go along and go, yeah, whatever, we'll just stick everything in it. Yeah. That's unfair.
Yeah.
And of course they've got so much indexation, so if you then type in for their rankings, so if you type in, Smock TFE8 tank, Argos are going to come up above, Vaping Juice, they're going to come up above, Grey Haze or whomever, and that rankles me a little bit. And so I know trading standards. Everyone gives them grief. Trading standards, they were pretty good. They got them to pull it down. So next up in the news, what's going on in the news?
So next up in the news, there's a researcher who went into an IQOS store in South Korea.
Right. Where's the researcher from?
Dr. Lindsay Robertson, New Zealand.
Christ, that's a journey.
Yeah, so she popped over there. She was running low on some bits and pieces. Popped into South
Local
Korea.
vape shop in South Korea.
She was passing. Hopped in. And she was sold some products without any checks. And apparently it's not good. They just sold it to her freely.
What sort of checks was she expecting? She's a doctor.
I imagine she looked of age.
If given the fact that she's got the money to fly from New Zealand to South Korea, she's a doctor. She's not going to be that young.
No.
What sort of checks was she expecting?
I'm just trying to find out what they were.
Are you medically licensed to use this ICOS device?
But yeah, apparently there were no checks. And Philip Morris have hit back and said it didn't even happen.
Didn't even happen.
Didn't happen. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Fake news.
You fake news, though.
That's fake news.
Stop trumping me.
That's
not real.
Fake news. There's no Dr. Lindsay Robertson. There is no man with that name. I don't even. That sounds like she's trying to make a story.
Yeah.
Right, I've got my doctorate. Need to do something of value. They did no checks.
Yeah, it says.
How's that even the research of a doctor? Like they did no checks. What specific checks in an entirely different country that you're going to are you expecting to get? When you go and buy your cigarettes in South Korea, what checks are you expecting? I don't know. You know my opinion on things like ICOS. I think they're just a crap dry herb vaporizer. But do you know what? So I saw an article today, kind of on that line ish, was about how in America there's a report saying 80% of middle school students, or there's 80% more middle school kids are vaping than we were like a couple of years back in America.
Yeah.
Now, that statistic ignores the fact that 10, 20 years ago, it would have been smokers. So,
yeah.
What is that particular segment?
Yeah.
Are they those kids that were still going to smoke? And are they instead vaping rather than smoking because it's their act of rebellion?
It's just, they might as well have said, 100% more children are vaping than they were 10 years ago.
Yeah, because of course there were none vaping.
There's nothing about, yeah.
Yeah, so
silly.
The statistic is crazy, but then they'll use that to write an article, write a news story. And I know in America, even Canada now, talking about an anti-flavour ban. But you'll have the flavour of tobacco, which if you want to stop people from going from e-cigarettes to smoking, which is I don't see happening. But there are people who obviously we know them who dual use as opposed to dual use.
Not plugging them.
I don't know anyone uses a dual, but I have forgotten how I was going to say that. There is, if you have this idea that vaping leads to smoking, it's funny because what happened before vaping? What led to smoking before that? Religion. Did religion lead to smoking? Should we ban that?
The little chocolate ones wrapped in paper.
Oh, crazy, isn't it?
That's what God said.
Did Christmas lead to smoking? So the idea that vaping leads to smoking. Well, if you want to ban flavours, ban tobacco flavour. Ban tobacco flavour, because then when you pick up a vape and you go, oh, it's tobacco flavour, it's a bit like, so what's this newfangled cigarette you got going on there? It's a bit like an e-cigarette, but it tastes like tobacco, but it's you just burn it instead. So you haven't got to worry about electricity. It's brilliant. You can use it anywhere. You can use them on the go. All you need is a flame. It's fantastic. Even cavemen could have used this. It's so ingenious, and they go, "That's remarkable." So what? There's no electricity cost. No, it's brilliant. It's fun. So, and that's if you want to get rid of a flavour, get rid of tobacco flavour. And that's not going to be popular because I like a tobacco flavour. So do you. And I think it's quite a nice flavour. But and there are some nice mixes of it. We're trying to do our own with Cafe Society. Plug. P in the bottom corner. But if you want to get rid of flavour, get rid of tobacco.
It highlights the silliness of it, really, doesn't it?
Fucking stupid.
That's the only flavour you're probably going to be able to get. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but so you hear these stories and they just lead to that kind of nonsense.
Yeah. So moving on from ICOS. So there was, it was looking like Italy were going to get hit with a big vaping tax, but there's been, and it's pretty good. There's actually, it seems like some vaping advocates have managed to get them to back off, and it's they're going to rescind or drastically reduce the tax.
I don't get if you've got harmonised laws across Europe how you can have a tobacco tax in one, e-cigarette tax in one country, and a different. And is it a tax laws not harmonised? Oh, they're not, are they? Because the UK's got a cheaper corporation tax rate. But yeah, I think it's just crazy. Increase the tax on smoking. Increase the tax on sugar. Increase the tax on everything first. Then look, if vaping is less bad, I mean, surely nothing at all is better. But if vaping is less bad, then focus on the things that are definitely bad, like obesity causes cancer, alcohol causes cancer, cigarettes cause cancer. Smash the hell out of them first.
Yeah, but I mean, they were saying that before they decided to change their mind, a 10ml bottle of juice was going to cost nearly double the price of a packet of 20 cigarettes.
That's just stupid.
Yeah, it's crazy.
She's going to smoke. That's the thing. So we find in Spain, for example, there are less vapers in Spain than there are in the UK per head because cigarettes are cheap. £4 for a box of 20 or 16 or whatever it is, or 19.
It's going to happen.
That and if their GDP per capita as in their annual earnings is only fractionally less than say the UK, but the price disparity in cigarettes is so much vaster, then the draw for people who want to quit smoking because of money reasons is going to be much more reduced. That just doesn't make sense. And as well, we live in a global consumer marketplace. We've got Amazon, we've got eBay, we've got we sell online different parts of Europe. I'm sure everyone else does in the UK as well. If vaping costs, well, we get Australian customers, they can't buy nicotine, and they generally buy RE liquids anyway. So not all Australians, I wish it was. Every Australian buys RE liquids only. So you heard it here first. If you want to find out how. But if you if you're an Italian and you vape, you go, all right, I can go down to the shop here where the small shopkeeper in Italy is getting absolutely bum smashed. I think that keeps me within the YouTube rules of
advertiser friendly.
Yeah, that's friendly. If they're going to get bum smashed so that ruins, and that's bad for that Italian shopkeeper.
Yep.
Because he's then competing with an online platform who has just got to send it out in the post, or an Amazon guy, and they just buy online from somewhere else and get it shipped across in Europe.
Exactly.
So it's that just seems to be absurd. Fine, so that's bad. So they're not going to do that now.
No,
Good.
it's not happening. So that's good. And then the last bit to really talk about is vaping juice wholesale. Have a little shameless plug. The last bit.
Plug away.
So obviously we, as David was saying, we do have a wholesale platform. So you can go on there now. It's just vapingjuicewholesale.com. Go on there. You can see all the products. Make an account. It's really nice and easy. And then you get a call straight back from one of our account managers. You've got new products on there daily, and we've got a live stock count, so you can see exactly what it is you've got in stock before you order it. I mean, one of the things that we used to get really annoyed about is that we'd place an order with a supplier, and then you'd find out like half a day later that half of it's gone, and then you miss the cut-off for the next day delivery. None of that. Go on there, see exactly what we've got, get your order in, and then we'll get it to you next day.
I think we try and do is with the wholesale, like we do with a lot of wholesalers we found in the past. Like, I mean, we speak to people when they go, look, you're a retailer, I don't want to buy from you. And we used to be like that ourselves. Yeah. We're like, look, you're a competitor, and I'm probably not going to buy wholesale from someone who's got a shop 2 doors down the road from me. So I mean, as a retailer, I get it as well. We're a wholesaler. Like, I think in the past when people would call me up and they try and pitch me wholesale, and I'd be thinking, you're my competitor, you're down the road. And I'm not gonna. I'll be honest with you, and I get it. People aren't gonna try and strengthen their competitor down the road, but one of the things we have learned as a retailer is we've learned what frustrates us no end. And every business out there tries to focus on giving good customer service to their consumers, but I think very often it seems to be lost in the wholesale part of the game. It probably in many bit industries, not just ourselves. Yeah. And I think, I understand now, like we get phone calls from people, like, we make e-liquids, we know how much they cost to make. And someone tries to sell us a brand new e-liquid that's got no customers, no brand, nothing. And they're trying to make more money than we would make, paying rent, rates, wages, promotion, marketing, shelf space, etc., on the rest end of it. And I'm like, well, that's just crazy, and so we're not going to do business with you. But I think having learnt that, we've kind of put it into our model to make sure that people who come and do business with us on a wholesale level get that nous that we've learnt. Yeah, so it's kind of like we try and give free shipping when we start giving free shipping to customers online, we start getting more sales. People, you spend £1,000, £2,000, £5,000, £10,000 with some of these wholesalers, and they still try and charge you 20 quid for shipping, and you're like, come on, I've just spent, I've just paid for your guys' wages for the week. You're going to charge me £20 shipping? It just rankles people for such a small amount of money. Pay the shipping for them. So that's what we offer. We give you free shipping. One of the big problems as well in this industry, because it's a newer industry compared to say food and beverage, where they give you credit terms. I know that screws some companies if they don't get their bills paid, but you pick the right customers and you make sure they can fit their credit terms. So we offer you credit now. So that's trying to add something different to the industry, offering something different, giving you credit, get now, pay later. So we give you free shipping, get now, pay later. And we'll price match you. We'll more than price match you. We'll give you a discount difference on what you're actually going to pay elsewhere. So we're trying to offer some value. So if you can get on board with that, check us out at vapingjuicewholesale.com. Give us a call, WhatsApp, email us, web chat, whatever, and let's see if we can do some good business.
Cool.
Good?
Yeah.
Right, well, thanks for
Lovely.
watching. Check us out on the podcast, details added to the video. Vaping Juice TV, subscribe to Kanthal Show. Hope you found this useful. Remember, LinkedIn for B2B is well worth it. Take care. Speak to you soon.